All right, howdy everybody. I'm going to make yet another little video and show you a cool other potential powerhouse that we have access to this year called Nearpod. So let me just share my screen and get right into it here. Okay, that should be the screen that you'll see when you go in directly. And if you just come over here to log in, my hope is that everybody's already signed up for this and that don't worry, you will be if not already. So you'll use I believe either your Clever account or it works for me when I go in with my Google account. Again, this is the one that's your district Google, not your personal. If you go in with your personal, you probably won't get access, at least to the purchased edition. So what's really fun is here is my dashboard. I've been working quite a bit on it. And so all these videos are on my dashboard because I have included many of these, which are really awesome, um, little snippets of learning throughout the unit maps this year. So you'll find them in the far right column all the way down the unit maps. And they might be potential lessons for you to either give out to students upon small group needs or even like whole instruction. So I wanted to show you how I located these and kind of how you can explore and what you can use this to do. For starters, let's just explore the library. And so that's the button that happens here kind of in the upper left-hand corner. All these tabs on the left are also powerful ways to look around. But really the main way I think you get into the bulk of the material is in the library. And then you can decide to save it or kind of earmark it for future use. Okay, so I went in there, I'm in the library. For starters, you can tell that like everything is here at once. And so I think I'm not just going to go to the featured tab, but I'm going to go into grades. Okay. And then I'm going to probably search, I guess, let's just jump into like one of our middle school grades and do 7. Again, you're going to learn by just kind of playing around with this too. But now it is pretty well changed my screen to be able to choose. You can see I've highlighted just the 7th grade chunk. And so it's going to limit my lessons to things that fit between those grade levels. You can see that they have a grade level span for a lot of these lessons because they're probably relevant each year and kind of there as support no matter what year you're in. And there's a lot of variety. And so you could definitely find things that students haven't seen from the prior year. Okay, I think you can also change your search by subject. So if you're going to narrow it down a little bit more, we could make sure now we're just looking at ELA related material. You can also come over here in this filter by standards, which is really pretty spectacular. And let's see if our Missouri standards are going to be reflected when we choose. It looks like we're on the list. And I'm going to do language arts. I'm going to stay with my 7th grade goal. Okay. And again, it looks like it's going to have pulled up the materials that fit within that search. So that's pretty great. Let's see what else we could really kind of play around with here. When you're doing all Nearpod, there are also ways that you can limit it. Like if you wanted just a lesson, if you wanted just an activity, or you wanted just a small video. And then this part that's not lit up yet is after you make your own lessons, that will be there as a choice for you to push out to your students. Okay, so I'm going to go back to just home. And I think if you click Nearpod in the top left corner, it takes you back home. Let's go back in the library and try one more search. Okay, and let's see if we can go into subjects this time. And let's again go look at English language arts. It's probably going to take us to some similar content. And again, we can narrow the grade level, we can filter by standard, kind of taking us to a similar place. Okay, now if that's just kind of you've farmed around and you've looked what you need, you can see how you can preview the lesson, you can add it to your lesson. And then that way, when you go to my lessons up here, they'll be waiting for you and you'll have some examples. Let's see what's in my lessons. And you can see these are the ones that I've either worked on or actually created an interactive presentation with. So this particular one, I have included questions that go throughout the lesson, and that way it stops. It also has a feature where you can make sure your students can't just skip through the video that you create for them. And then you really are harvesting all of the questions and answers that will come directly back to your Nearpod, and they're stored here for you to be able to then go in and access um, when then you pull up, I think, reports, and then that'll be where the data that comes back to you is stored. Okay, so one more quick look. Let's go up to create. And when you drop down on create, you can see you can create a bunch of different things. Any of your material that you've already made before, like this one right here, you can see that's a Google slide. And I had created that before. That's even the slideshow that I use for new teachers. But I could add it real easily, and I'll show you how that works, into a lesson and then embed something I'd already made and make it more interactive. So if I go to lesson, I'm going to pretend like I'm making a new one here with you. Okay, and it starts off kind of on this blank area. Now, if I already had a fully formed PowerPoint or slideshow or Google slide or a PDF, then it really is, I can already just start from there and just drop it here where you see this drop indicator. But I can be real careful about it too and just choose by going to add new. And then what is the part that you're going to add that's new? You can see it's connected to another one of our resources that we're going to have access to this year called vocabulary. So you could add stuff directly from vocabulary this way. If you're going to add a video, you would simply click video. And this would be a video that you maybe have created or recorded and uploaded. In order to use one, you would probably find it on YouTube. Or if you have not put it on YouTube, you can upload a video from your drive that you may already have had access to. And so that's another possibility. If it's saved as an MP4, you can drop those directly in here. That is how a lot of our like Zoom products or Screencastify, when I export from there, it comes out as an MP4. So I can simply drag that in there. But what I do is I put it in YouTube and save it to YouTube. Each of us actually has our own YouTube district account that you can upload videos to. And then the students know that they're in a safe version of YouTube that is just for the teacher and the student. But when I made that link, I would simply put it in here and then decide to go ahead and link it to my lesson. So let me pretend like I have one of those. And let's see. I think I'm going to just go back like I was and do create again and show you not with a video, but some of the other options that you can do when you do create. Okay, so the create button is also here, but up here, I'm going to go there and I'm going to make, again, like what I consider a lesson. Okay, and so far I haven't included anything, but if I go to this button, it's very much like the one above it. I think it's exactly the same. But this is where I would include content to begin with. So let me go ahead and do that. I think I'm going around and around on it. Let me find a video that I've already made and it'd be in my Zoom folder. See, it would be in my downloads folder. So I'm going to just get one that I haven't used. Just experiment. Oh, you know what? It's not where it goes. It goes into documents and Zoom. Zoom makes its own little folder. Let's see, I go find one of these more recent ones. And it's called Nearpod Navigation. So I think I can just drag in right there one way. But I can also put in the YouTube video. Let's try it this way and just see what happens. It was happening there for a second for us, wasn't it? Okay, the file is too large. Boy, I think I'm gonna end up making this video set again. I want to cancel this upload, yes. And so to get around that problem, I put it on YouTube. And I suppose I might as well show you that. My hope was not to make this video super long. But if I go to YouTube, remember this is not the one associated with my personal Gmail. And you can tell by my head is up here and that's my district picture. And it's my district version of this. I do listen to some of these tunes at work. So some of these are like favorite artists of mine. But if I come over here to the three lines, I think that's called hamburger some places. Then I'm going to go to your videos. I wish it said my videos, but they're really your videos. Maybe that's part of the YouTube. And all of the videos that I wanted to use so far, and I've included for people, I have first uploaded here. And in order to do that, all I really did was go up this top right button and go to create and upload videos. This is where it's going to let me, without any hesitation, drag a file like this in here because YouTube has a lot more room and space for you to upload. And then you go through this process of naming it. So I might as well go through and I would say, no, it's not for kids. And kind of read through some of the choices. I'm not going to make a playlist with this one. Okay, I'm going to choose the video elements. It's fine with me, whatever screen it ends on. So I go next. Now it's checking for copyright material. You can see processing. Next. I'm going to make it public so the whole world could see it. You get to decide. Make me famous, right? And then you really just publish. Okay. And what happens from there, and I'm not going to because I've already done that. I don't need more of them in my box. Well, here's a draft. And then I think it's going to let me toss that. I'm going to delete that one forever because I have enough already. I understand that deleting a draft video is permanent. It's all right. I've got its friend right underneath there a couple times over, and that's the one I've been linking to. Okay, so all these videos I've made in here, and you can see they stay here for me forever, but they also, in that way, then just link directly into Nearpod. And I can get the link directly from YouTube. So if I was to go to this one, I could click here and get shareable link. And that way, when I go back to Nearpod and I do upload files, oops, I'm not going to do upload files. I'm going to do, I'm sorry, add new video. And then I'm going to tell it it's from YouTube right here. And I'm already going to know the link because I copied and pasted it from there. And what's neat is now when I search, there's my video. It makes me go in here and preview it to make sure that's the right one. And then I would simply save it. Okay. Now, what happens from here is really pretty slick. Now the students have been assigned a 13-minute video to wander through and do tasks for. However, 13 minutes is a long time to just trust people are accountable to doing the activity. So what I might suggest is you can add activities throughout this video simply by clicking at the bottom where it says add activity. Okay, I can either add a multiple choice question or an open-ended question. And so in this case, I would just work on adding this open-ended question. And I would type my question, and then I would save it. What happens is this blue dot now indicates to me, and I could move this later, but I might want to start off my whole entire plan with some directions or at least a question to launch it. And then later in the video, when we play it, this white dot denotes where we are in the video. You can see now it is letting me, wherever I move that white dot, it's changing where I could add the next activity. So again, I could put in this one, a multiple choice question. Maybe it was based on what you just heard and provide the answers there. Okay. So really when you're done, then you save it and you send this lesson to your students. They could do this in a station or asynchronously. They could do it overnight and bring it back for homework. There's an awful lot of applications that this has. Okay, let's do cancel. I will lose my changes. I'm going to, that's all right. Just showing you around. Okay, and then one more cool thing, if I can find it real quick, I want you to see. You can see like I didn't save this one, so it's just hanging out there for me. If I wanted to get rid of it, I can go up there and I can delete forever. I'll come back and do that in a little while. Okay, if I hit quick launch, there's another way that you can do a strong interactive lesson on this collaboration board. So including the collaborate board is very easy to include it in your lesson. And you can assign the topic and you can add this into your existing lesson. And kind of like you would do a Padlet or something else, the students are accountable this way and also can see each other's responses and then respond to each other. So it's a matter of just adding this button and deciding what you're going to put in. You can embed little things on this page like pictures, even small videos. That way, when they're on this collaboration board, their directions are kind of right there in front of them, and that they're adding by pinning things directly here. You can put it in a grid. You can put it in columns. When you see student options, you would probably want to do this not anonymously, um, where they know who each other are. After we've developed some norms, maybe we practice anonymously, but we talk about what appropriate is. And remember that you can see the names even when the students cannot. So you may turn it on where first you see the comments before they go live, and it's your job then to approve of them. You can see how, again, you could also decide if you're going to approve of the posts. So it does give you a lot of control even during the task. If things start to become something you need to police or take back control of, um, then I mean that is going to be a reality and something that we keep practicing as we develop, I guess, the expectations for how to use something new like this. You can see how you can turn on various forms of media that go with the collaboration board. So, okay, if I click instructions, they disappear and the whole board comes back. But it's a really good chance for you to help build some of this kind of independent, um, gradual release of responsibility for our students so that they read the instructions and do their best with interpreting what to do without us constantly giving those verbally or them waiting on us to get started. It's a good chance to launch the task. It's got everything it needs for them to be very self-led with your directions. You can go around and check on how things are going and support those goals instead of really being the person delivering all the time. So I hope that's been useful and you've seen some power um, in what we can do when we use some of these tools. By no means does that replace that you are the most powerful element in the classroom, but some of this variety could probably help our students stay engaged and look forward to some of the new things we're trying in class. So there's another cool option for you on Nearpod. Thanks for watching.